Hey everybody, happy Thursday. I hope you guys are doing amazing and having an epic day. I am so excited to talk to you today. Look at this new camera setup. I'm pumped. No more grainy stuff facing my entry door. Now we have super clear stuff, 4K, beautiful face facing my, that's my patio door. So, all right, today we're going to talk about a follow-up to the last video I launched. Last video, if you haven't seen that yet, it was about iOS 14 and its impact on Facebook ads. It has a lot of advertisers a little scared. We're sweating a little bit about it, but overall it seems like it's going to be a good change for the rest of the world and a scary change for advertisers. So that generated some conversations on LinkedIn, some other places where people said, okay, Facebook ads are about to become less effective. What do we do instead? And so I thought that's a great question. There are so many other smarter people other than me that I think can answer this, but I'm gonna throw a couple of things I've seen out there that a lot of these smarter marketers are starting to talk about and put them in one place for you guys. If you have questions about this, I'm happy to direct you to resources or anything like that, but let's go ahead and talk about 5 things that people are saying that you should do as we prepare for the iOS 14 update and what you should do essentially afterwards as we get into like farther into Q1 into Q2. So here are 5 things. First thing overall that people are saying is don't be scared to invest in something like SMS tech, so like text message marketing and email marketing. It's about to become a lot more crucial, especially in terms of like rewards programs. But overall, being able to just reach people for reviews or sales or promotions through text or through email is a really, really good idea and something that doesn't rely on iOS 14's necessary privacy settings. So you're not necessarily relying on Facebook ad, you're relying on text message or your email instead. So it's a lot stronger of an option. Email used to be the shit way back in the day. And then it kind of died out once ads took over and were so cheap you could do them in volume. And now it's coming back in force and it's bringing SMS with it. So there's a couple good platforms I definitely suggest. Let's talk about Community is one of them if you haven't done it yet. Community.com is one that I highly recommend. The other one is Yotpo, Y-O-T-P-O, is really cool for SMS and review generation, stuff like that. So take a look at those. There's 1,000 other platforms. There's Close By, there's Bright Local, there's all these other ones that I recommend you at least try to research and take advantage of. In terms of email programs, if you're e-commerce, there's Klaviyo, there's all these different ones there. If you're just looking to get information out, MailerLite's fantastic. MailChimp is the OG. Invest in that email marketing, start pushing stuff now. Start talking about that a little bit more. Let's go to number 2. Number 2 is don't be scared to collaborate. Talk to other people that aren't even necessarily in your vertical and see what they're doing and see these people that have cool communities if they want to find a way to collaborate with you. One of my favorite collaboration stories of all time was from a couple of years ago. It was McFly's Gentleman Shop, who is my favorite hair cuttery place in the world. Jason over there has an incredible team. They collaborated with Crown Brewing and created a IPA called Till Death Do Us Part. And it was pretty good. Like, it was a really good IPA. Probably wasn't going to win any awards, but it didn't necessarily need to. It was definitely... It had a spirit when you drank it. You felt like you were at McFly's, right? Like these people had very similar communities that were really like really forward and very cool, very kind of type A, and that's the way the beer was too. It was very, very good. So, but it was 2 industries that were very far apart from each other, but found a way to collaborate, and the collaboration paid off. They launched it at Crown Beer Fest, had a great reception. It seemed like its social reception was really good. And it was just, it served as a good example for people when I'm talking about collaboration of don't think that you have to go with someone if you just make a product that it's going to be in your vertical and collaborate. Get out there and mix it up a little bit and see if there's someone else that makes a really cool product or has a cool community where they'll collaborate. Most often, people will find a way. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3, invest in good creative. There's a lot of good creative agencies out there. In Northwest Indiana, I've lived a lot of places. NWI seems to have some of the best and brightest creatives out there. I definitely recommend invest in that video marketing, invest in that graphic design, invest in that really, really high-end creative, and let people tell your story in a way that maybe you didn't expect. You still obviously have control over it, but let people kind of bring your brand to life in a new way. Invest in it now. Start talking about it. It's going to become a lot more important when you're trying to reach people that what you're reaching them with is your best foot forward. So invest in creative. Check out creative agencies. There's a lot in Northwest Indiana. Off the top of my head, I look at like We Create is phenomenal. True Mountain is phenomenal. Go out, search them out, find them, listen to them, and let them bring your brand to life a little bit more. So that's tip number 3. Tip number 4, make sure you're really dialing in the customer experience. A lot of brands that we're talking about, a lot of big branding agencies are really driving this home right now, especially for a retail brand. Make sure that the first experience that people have with your brand is a timeless one. We want that, almost that like diner feeling of like when you walk into a diner and they're like, oh, hey, the usual. You want that almost for your brand. Even if it's their first time there, you want them to feel comfortable. You want that customer experience to be amazing. So people are saying like, make sure that your customer experience, if you're brick and mortar, it's crucial, but if you're online, make sure that website is fully optimized for mobile, because it's where a lot of people are. Make sure that it's silky smooth. The checkout process is smooth. The add to carts, the upsells, everything is smooth. They get their receipts on time and they can track their stuff. So make sure the customer experience is top tier. It's a pretty basic thing, but it's what a lot of people are saying, that like you really have to hammer on it now because it's going to be harder to get them to your website. You want to make sure that website is flawless and perfect. So get out there. Again, a lot of good web agencies. Here, I'm always partial to True Mountain because those are my boys, but I definitely recommend make sure that experience is tip top, especially if you're brick and mortar. Last thing, the absolute last thing that people are saying right now is spend now. If you are looking for, if you're waiting, if you're kind of hoping that this thing passes, it's probably not going to. So spend now. Most brands, large brands, your competitors, the big guys, haven't figured out yet what they're going to do for the rest of the year, and their ad budgets are exhausted. So there's a really, really brief window right now where spending is generating a lot of really good results at a lot lower cost than normal. So I definitely recommend spend now if you can. Run your ads, try and get those conversions, try and get those sales, try and get that traffic to your website, and then get that as much information as you can once you're there. So you want those email addresses, you want those phone numbers if possible. And then from there, your marketing efforts take off for the rest of 2021. So this is just the information that I'm seeing as I cruise Twitter and listen to people a lot smarter than I am. So I definitely recommend it. If you have any questions on this, I am happy to help direct you to the right resources and the coolest people. And if you want to talk about ads, of course, I'm your guy. So thank you so much for watching this video. I truly appreciate you guys. I hope you have an amazing rest of the week and a weekend. I don't know how many of these videos I'm going to be doing day to day or how many per week, but I'm really excited about this one. So have a phenomenal weekend, and I will probably talk to you guys. I think I'll release a video tomorrow. Bye-bye.